Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Lucifer. After a good few months worth of a hiatus, we are back with the Lucifer reactions. And yeah, I think there's like 3 episodes away from completing season 5A, so I figured, you know what, I want to try and get this done before season 5B gets released, because then season 6 is the final season, and I think at this point, season 6 of they're actually, I think I can't tell if they've completed filming overall, but I think Leslie, who plays Maze, actually did confirm having completed her final scene with Tom Ellis as Lucifer. So that was like a super emotional thing. So I don't know if she's done with the show as a whole, or if it's just with like those characters. But certain people have actually completed their segments that are required of that season, and they've moved on. So season 6 is going to be where it ends. So, and then yeah, so season I don't know when they're planning on releasing season 6, but season 5B is yet to be released. So I figured, yeah, you know what, I got it. I'm gonna do both of those, both of those seasons, the 5B and 6, and I need to finish season 5A. So it's been a while. It's been a while. I did not mean for the hiatus. I didn't intend for there to be a hiatus first of all, but then I also didn't intend for there to be a hiatus for this show either, and that goes for quite a few of the shows I'm reacting to on the channel. So yeah, time is my enemy. Time is one of my mortal time, and disorganization, two of my mortal enemies. So yeah. Anyway, we are back with Lucifer. We are back with Lucifer. Last time, I think, despite how long it's been, and despite the fact that I only watched the episode once, the last episode is still somewhat pretty kind of vivid in my mind. Not necessarily fresh, but still pretty vivid. Like given like the characters we had and the moments we had. So it's still pretty fun in that sense. We had Amenadiel and Chloe teaming up. They teamed up for like a little murder investigation thing happening inside a convent, and Amenadiel busted out his wings in front of the murderer and showed him, the religion and, like godly and angelic mythology and stuff was all real and stuff like that. So that was cool. But he discovered, I think he discovered his own powers too, and I think there was like a whole thing where he discovered his powers were, I think, because Lucifer's power was to reveal the true desires, he had like another like power reflective of that. Like his one was God's like will or God's grace being reflected off of him onto people. So then they saw with Lucifer, him being the devil, like it's like, oh well, like what do you truly desire, and like what people really wanted that they felt too shameful to tell anyone about. But then with Amenadiel, him being the angelic and good son, he added like a different filter where he like just I can't remember exactly what it was for him. I think it was something a little bit more positive. I think yeah, it was like people's love for God, people's love and their devotion and their passion towards God and towards faith as a whole was like filtered through him. So like the nuns of the convent all kind of flocked to him like moth to a flame, and they all kind of expressed their passion for the religion, for their faiths and everything they believed in. So he was like a filter for God's love, whereas Lucifer, being the devil, he was a filter for like the sins of humanity and all that jazz. So yeah, and then after finding out that not only does Chloe not feel compelled to tell Lucifer her sins, she also doesn't feel compelled to do the same thing with Amenadiel for his filter. So then for her, because she was a gift from God, her power was that she had immunity to both of their kind of filters and their charms and everything. So, her vulnerability and her openness towards Lucifer, towards Lucifer especially, was actually her pure, like her own characteristic choice. Like she didn't feel any kind of compulsion to do any of that usual stuff. So her vulnerability and her kind of openness was definitely like her choice. So it made like hers, and in the end, like they figured out it made hers and Lucifer's relationship and their kind of bond that much more special. That like she wasn't being forced to reveal anything to him. Like she actually did trust him and open up to him enough, and vice versa too. So that was a really cool kind of sequence throughout the episode. And it was a really cool kind of thing to have revealed. And I think it's a great way to evolve from that reveal, like her finding out in such a manipulative and such a torturous way, to then finding out that it's like not that she's a gift, but it's more that like she has that much more of like a pure and like genuine connection to Lucifer compared to most people. So it was cool. That was cool. So we had Amenadiel and Chloe, and then on the other end of the spectrum, we had Lucifer and Daniel Espinosa. They were actually helping to solve the same case. They were helping to solve the same case, but then doing their own way, and then like Dan showing Lucifer the less action packed kind of aspects of being being a detective and everything, and actually having to solve the case and look through paperwork and find puzzles in different reports and witness statements and all that kind of jazz. So actually showing him the more kind of desk-based kind of aspects of the job, and Lucifer being endlessly bored and everything. But in the end, they became. I think they actually did become like the bracelet bros thing. Like they did that, and they actually went to the kind of the goat yoga place, and the big like Dan dug through like manure or something to find like some evidence, and they had a great time. They had a great time. Actually helped solve the case and find out who was involved and who wasn't, and it was a great time. So that is a pairing. I think I feel like has been here and there before, but again it was somewhat long overdue. So they had a great time with this. It was two kind of different, more unique pairings to actually see, and both of them flourished in their own ways. So that was super fun. And then in a sense more dramatically, we had Maze and Linda. Maze and Linda actually tracked down Linda's firstborn daughter, Adriana, and she was flourishing too. She was actually flourishing too, and she actually mentioned how she had no kind of remorses or like regrets or grudges towards her birth mother for actually having given her away in the first place. Like she still found a home, she still found people, and she was still raised under a roof and still found like a life of her own. So she kind of still found her way in life, but then I think like May's still kind of reeling in from that kind of discovery that Lilith actually abandoned her and her brothers and sisters. Like she still felt her own kind of grief over that, and she kind of tried to take it out on Linda and Adriana, and actually trying to force Linda into telling the truth to Adriana and telling her that she was her mother. I mean, again, Adriana, I think the casting for one thing was great, but even like the costume and makeup department, like that, she's a spitting image of Linda. So I'm kind of surprised that there was never any kind of recognition on that end. Like, wow, you two really look alike. You two really look alike. I was like looking back in the episode, I was actually half expecting Maze to have done something like that. I can't remember if she actually kind of did like back then, or if she just kind of had a side. But either way, for the most part, it was definitely just her kind of pushing Linda into telling Adriana the truth and getting some getting what I think what Maze would have qualified as closure, and actually making her do something that Lilith didn't, which Linda rightfully called out and said, I'm sorry for your loss and I'm sorry about your pain, but I am not Lilith, so don't try and take your anger towards her out on me or try and project that situation. So we had all of that stuff going on. So fun stuff overall. So I think now going forward, we still have to kind of see what Michael has planned and see what else is actually going to happen in the rest of this half of the season. Again, not many episodes to go, I don't think. So hopefully we can get through this. We can push through this in time for season 5B. So that should be fun too. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from the last one. So on to episode 6. Of season 5A of Lucifer. This reaction, this version of the reaction is just going to be the highlights and the kind of best bits from the episode. But if you guys want to catch the full-length version, the full unedited reaction, that one will be over on Patreon. So you can go check that out over there. So that one will be just as much fun. But yeah, on to episode 6 of Lucifer. Let's go. Oh, a gun! A water gun. Jesus. Oh, a water gun. Okay, I think you can actually get water pistols that look like regular pistols and stuff, which is still super risky. But oh, they were having sex outside an actual musical concert. Okay, very vibrant. Very vibrant. Oh, did he? He's getting tased by his headphones. He got tased by his headphones. Oh, he got tased to death by his headphones. Oh.
Oh, here, the surge protector. It's disconnected.
Surge protector.
And
damn, Lucifer's horny as hell.
It's a clean cut. How do I not end up alone?
That is not an easy question.
Find Eve. Find Eve again.
Try swaddling him.
Oh, what a wonderful idea!
You just have to find someone.
Lucifer is my partner.
Yes, partner.
You still married
Partner.
to that guy, Dave?
Dan.
Dan.
We're divorced.
Dan. Even Lucifer's sticking up for Dan.
I
Even
know
Lucifer's
that.
sticking up for
So
Dan.
are you in a relationship?
No, not in a relationship per se.
Well, it was really good seeing you again.
Oh, the hurt on Lucifer's face. The hurt. The pain on Lucifer's face. I mean, you know what? Technically, nothing is really confirmed. Technically, nothing is confirmed.
We don't even know what this is yet.
It's a very fair point.
Do
It's
we?
still... Nothing's
I suppose
official.
not.
Sorry, I was my manager.
Read
Following
the
that.
bridge, dude. Read the
Why,
bridge.
since we're going after Pexa. It's scary seeing another dude like that. Makes you realize life's short.
So not sure enough.
Do you know of anyone who would want to kill Pexa?
Sorry, man.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. The detective had a child with you, and I've never felt in the slightest bit threatened. You're right. He does have a stupid face.
How do you do that, Ellen? How are you so friendly?
I don't know. I guess I'm just me, you know? Ella.
Ella, not Ellen. Ella.
But, gotta run to the lab.
Yeah,
Cherry
clear
Jane
over here.
Foundation. I'm so done with this guy.
She could be the one who wanted to murder Jed.
Assuming anyone wanted to murder Jed.
Oh boy, I'd say that's a pretty big sign. I'd say that's a pretty big sign. His place being blown to smithereens. Oh jeez, okay. So first electrocuting headphones and now a
Isn't this
freaking
convenient
bomb.
for Jed?
Great cop. Great dad. And your hair, it's so hot.
It really is. It's so like, yeah. I mean, that doesn't really happen much without product.
Things you don't know about me.
Detective, careful. I know how to handle
Oh,
snakes.
snakes. I was about to say tripwire. No, it's snakes.
Do you know how long I have been waiting for copulation?
You and me both.
Clearly, you're not aware of how rare sound recordings of rattlesnake sex are.
Well, it's not my strong suit, no.
That's a thing. Rattlesnake
Foreplay
sex.
is
Snakes have sex.
incredibly intense.
Hey, what's with all the gift baskets?
Oh, they're from my fans.
Oh, from the
They found
fans
out my
of
place
Jed.
blew up, and they've been sending me stuff from all around the world.
Didn't that just happen today, like that day? Isn't that recent still? And they've already found out and sent stuff?
Behind all this?
I am going to need to know exactly what you did wrong so I can steer clear of your every mistake.
Oh
Now,
boy. Drinks.
Start talking.
Yeah, get him drunk, really get him to open up.
I mean, even though we're just looking at last weekend when Jed left.
And the sex was great. I mean, like, really great. Amazing, actually. The stuff she can do.
Got it.
But it just it wasn't enough. It was the lack of mystery that did us in. And my mistake was wearing my heart on my sleeve. Too much of an open book.
Really? Because I've been in therapy, so I'm, a bit of an expert.
So be mysterious, hold more, well not hold more secrets, but be mysterious
Speak of the
and
devil's girl.
keep surprising. Yeah.
Oh, that was fast, Ella. You changed your pants, shirt, face.
Maze? Oh damn!
Oh my god, I have that exact same shirt. Did you steal my clothes?
She took her clothes. Oh, she's turned into Ella.
Confused.
Ella.
Oh,
Ella,
you got
oh.
my name right.
Finally, after how many
Sure,
seasons,
ask.
she's got her name right
Ask
here.
away. I am completely open and emotionally available now.
I just said what you said. That it's okay that she gets it wrong all the time. And that it's perfectly natural that she's so clueless because no one ever... Oh.
Yeah, you know, no. Yeah,
Right. I see what happened there.
yeah, okay. Well, now you do. A
Where'd
little.
Linda go again?
Oh, Linda's there. Oh, damn, Linda's got the Harley Quinn style, like, pigtails. That's so cute.
But like I told
Now she's got a sparkling, flashy coat, too. Oh, boy.
Who's the big boy?
What are you
Oh,
doing?
good
I have
God.
been trying to soothe Charlie for...
Show the devil face. Maybe that will help.
Ideas how to stop this?
Is the devil face gonna work?
Have you tried whiskey?
Okay, no. Well, probably can't do probably can't do the devil face in front of Jed because that's gonna tick off a whole lot of the boxes that don't need to be ticked off. This reminds me of the party from Teen Wolf in Derek's loft place. Yeah.
I have this reoccurring dream where I open the fridge and the only thing that is there is orange juice. Fascinating.
Like one glass, or is it stacked from shelf to shelf with orange juice? Because I can imagine just one glass of orange juice just being there in a very, very ominous way.
Got milk?
Nice. This is how I did it when I had a baby. You know,
With Chloe.
with Chloe. So what's the sting you were talking about?
Karen and I have had a very long and meaningful conversation. Yeah. And every annoying detail of her life.
You can't copy Ella Mays. You can't copy her.
I know what you're doing, okay? And sleeping with the devil, it must be different somehow, right?
Yeah, well, it's not like he has a forked penis or anything. It doesn't. I mean, it's totally normal. I mean, well, I mean, way above average. I mean, it's perfect. Seriously, sex with Lucifer is the last thing you should be worried about.
Lucifer crying outside. Out loud, even outside.
Weirdo. Yeah, I'm positive Jed's safe.
The detective is a detective.
God,
So,
you and Maze are just
well, that's the stupidest
taking
thing
things
I've ever
way
heard.
too far.
Jed explains it much better, don't you, Jed?
What the hell is Jed? You just said Jed was safe, and now you don't know where Jed is? Oh boy. Oh, Charlie's okay with the devil face!
That's odd.
Charlie's okay with the devil face! No, he is.
Well, Jed isn't out here. I'll call in a bolo. Who knows where he went?
Oh my god, that is the greatest thing the show's ever given me. That is one of the greatest things that show has ever given me. Oh boy. Oh yep, he has a gun. He definitely has a gun. He definitely has a gun.
They need to know. He's a homewrecker.
Oh, did he?
One magical night.
Oh, he slept with Karen.
Say anything.
You don't need to do this, Ron. Despite everything, you just want to be with him. Her.
Oh god. Oh, nice and swift. Chloe Decker. Okay.
So heartbreaking. Where's Linda?
She passed out drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, she's passed out drunk, yeah. I think she needs a good night's rest, not really hard partying. Yeah.
Didn't know you were gonna be here, I swear, but yeah. I hoped.
Is he really press or is he something else?
Look at that, breaking news. Local journalist gets cute girl's phone number.
Oh, jeez, for Pete's sake. See what I did there?
Yeah, oh. Great, yes, puns.
Seems nice. Think I'm scary?
Oh, I think you are hella scary.
Yeah, that's what's cool. That's cool.
It's good scary. Because it's you.
And now the baby's awake again.
We can take it from here, Dan.
Yeah, just the devil face. The devil face, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you've already helped out so much.
Devil face actually fucking works. Yeah! God, those eyes.
Hey man, what's up?
Daniel, is it too late for you to come back? I'm so sorry, forgot something.
No, BS. No way, that's BS. That's Michael. That's gonna be Michael. Oh! Oh, Dan finds out. Michael draws him back just so that Dan can find out. Is he nearby? Oh, he was right there. Oh, God. Damn you, Michael. Your own father, damn you. Oh. Oh, Red.
Hi.
I was going to call you, but I seem to have...
Well, damn. Well, damn. No, on the piano? Really? On the piano of all places? Those poor keys. No. No, very sultry. Very sultry. Well, there we have it. Decker Star's first time. Decker Star's first time. So, yeah, that was pretty fun. That was a pretty fun return into the show. Won't lie, kind of did feel somewhat weird coming back after the hiatus, but still it kind of reminded me of the episode was really fun. It reminded me of why I love actually watching this show, so that was good. And it seemed like, I think for the most part, it definitely, I think it seemed like a filler designed to drive character more than story. Like the story, like story-wise, it only seemed like right at the very, 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 very end, with Dan discovering the whole secret thing. That seemed to be the only actually story-driven element, but the rest of it seemed very, very character-driven between, Chloe and Lucifer kind of deciding how exactly they want to move forward with their newfound kind of, the newfound stage of their relationship, and then May's having her own thing too. So that stuff was still really fun. But yeah, Dan, I figured it had to be when he got the call with Lucifer's voice coming back in. I was like, why would I think knowing exactly what Lucifer and Amenadiel are planning to do, why exactly would they actually call Dan back? And then it's like, no, you know what? It had to be Michael. Michael is basically like a Wendigo, only limited to being able to mimic Lucifer's voice. He can mimic Lucifer's impression pitch perfectly, so he could easily kind of like, I think it would kind of imply that he's been kind of maybe around almost the entire episode, or like he's at least aware of somewhat of what's going on, so he would know to actually somehow call Daniel back and then have him walk by this time. I thought, literally, when he stood back in shock, I thought it's because he saw Michael stepping out of the shadows. I thought Michael was like 5 feet in front of him, actually stepping into the light and showing him that Michael was there. But no, he walked back and discovered Lucifer's devil face. So yeah, I did not see that twist coming. Because I thought, because he then met up later on. I think in one of in the previous episodes when he actually met Maze earlier on, actually offered to give her the secret about offered to give her like a way to find out about the truth about her mother. I thought he would have actually made like some kind of similar deal or some kind of similar offer for Daniel, and maybe even like, because I think this would be like an inadvertent like a really, really kind of indirect way for him to be like, oh, do you want to know my true secret, Daniel? Like, do you want to know who I really am? So then he pretends to be Lucifer and then draws him back, and then allows him to actually see the truth. And then, yeah, so I think everyone besides from Ella now knows. Everyone besides from Ella, because I think Ella doesn't know, I don't believe. I think Ella is the only one who doesn't know. Linda definitely knows, and then, I don't know you mentioning those names. Chloe, I think Chloe knowing was like a whole thing last season. So I think Daniel and I'm pretty sure Daniel and Ella were the only ones left to know. I think Trixie, does Trixie? I don't think Trixie knows. I'm not too sure. I think because Trixie. I think maybe besides from Chloe, Trixie is the only one who's ever questioned the actual nature of his name. Like, he told her his name was Lucifer, and then she was like, oh, like the devil, and he was like, exactly. So like she's the only one who's ever made that kind of cross-reference, like, oh, Lucifer, like the devil, like Satan, like the supposedly big bad guy. Like no one else is, I think, to my knowledge, I think again, like even then only ever Chloe. But I think no one else besides from them has ever really questioned the actual cross-referencing or the similarity of that name. Like, and he can tell anyone his name is Lucifer Morningstar, and they're like, cool, yeah, that sounds like a totally normal thing to name your kid. Not questioning his parents' kind of nature at all. But yeah, so I don't know if I don't remember him ever actually having shown Trixie's devil face. I think Trixie has seen Maze's demon face. That is about, pretty sure that's about as far as she's ever gone. Maze showed her like half of her demon. I think it had to be her her demon face, but then her demon face was still kind of, I think, like half of her face actually rotted away and then like an eyeball missing and stuff like that. So like she showed her demon face, and then Trixie was still kind of, as a kid, she was still kind of processed it in her own fun little way. And because it was Halloween too, she thought it was just a cool mask thing that Maze actually popped on. Probably didn't really take it too seriously. So besides from that, I don't really think she's actually probably seen Lucifer's devil face. So yeah, but now Dan is the new recipient of that thing, and he was horrified. He was pretty shocked and just stumbled back as well. I was gonna lie, right? I thought because he was in the middle of the road, I was like anytime we have those kinds of scenes and those kinds of shots, anytime we have those, I'm always kind of anxious and kind of in like anticipation of like a car or a truck or like some kind of vehicle coming in out of nowhere and ramming the person over. So I literally thought like, you know, on his way walking back, or maybe on his way stumbling back to his car, he'd be caught off guard and not really be focusing, and then like a bike or a car or something would just come in like speeding in out of nowhere, and then he'd be hit by that too. So I think that would have been like an interesting way to do it too. Like he sees it, but then he suffers like an injury so severe that maybe he forgets, or he can't tell if he's actually he can't tell if what he saw was real. Like maybe like, you know, he saw something he didn't know, and then he just got hit by a car, and like maybe he was hallucinating stuff. Like because he did say he was tired, he was leaving because he was exhausted. So yeah, and then all of a sudden he's thrown into this kind of fight or flight thing, seeing a devil in Amenadiel's house, and then he's stumbling back to his car, and then he gets hit by a car. I feel like that would have been an interesting way to pull it off too. Actually, I think not that I want to see Dan hospitalized, but still, I think it would have put an interesting twist on him. Because then I think deep down he'd have that kind of contemplation too, like, you know, like, is it worth bringing up if I just imagine the whole thing, or are they gonna think I'm crazy or something? So, but with this, then he actually safely gets back into his car, and I think he might still question it, because I think he did still say he was exhausted, so he might still question it and be like, you know, oh, maybe the tiredness was just making me see things, and then I don't know, maybe. I think honestly, I want Dan to be the smart one here, right? And be like, oh wait, his name is Lucifer Morningstar. That can't be a coincidence. His name is literally Lucifer, and he's always had this He's literally had this literal devilish charm about him. I mean, I want Dan to be the smart one here. I want Dan to actually be, besides from Chloe, I want him to be the smart one, and to actually, you know, try and put two and two together and be like, oh crap, he's actually the devil. He was never joking any of those times. He's actually really literally the devil and stuff. So I don't know how that's gonna go. I mean, because I think, coming up to the end of this half, I'm anticipating, because I think I don't even know what Michael's plan is in this case. Like if it's literally, because I think it's clearly like an individual plan for different people. Because I think with Maze, he already knows she's a demon. But like with Maze, her kind of thing was like she didn't know what happened to Lilith, besides from her like suddenly abandoning her and her siblings out of nowhere, and then being left alone to grow up in hell and to be raised like torturing souls in hell and everything. So he then offered to help her find a way to find out the truth about what happened, and then to actually be able to track down her mother again too. So that was her thing. But with Dan, I think his biggest kind of lack of knowledge has been literally not knowing about Lucifer's devil face. I think that's easily been the biggest secret he's been kind of kept out of the loop of. So like, and especially like him being like a regular human, that's easily been the biggest thing he's been out of the loop on. So I think it's such a simplistic thing that as the series goes by, with a series like this, with a story like this, you do keep wondering, okay, who's going to find out, but also who's going to find out next. Like one person finds out, okay, now the next person finds out, and stuff. So yeah, and Ella doesn't know, so I'm curious as to when she's going to find out. I think I kind of already have theories as to what Ella's reaction might be. I feel like she might be like, oh, this makes so much sense, but at the same time, I think because she actually does have that kind of religious background and that kind of current religious kind of lifestyle, I feel like it's going to be interesting seeing where things actually come from her, because I think she already kind of has like certain aspects of her life kind of, you know, like she does use certain religious kind of mindsets and mottos to help determine certain aspects of her life. So it's like, you know, I don't know if she's ever actually mentioned it, whether or not she definitively believes in heaven and hell, but I think she does believe in like the whole like your path being set up for you, and you just have to go find it, and like, you know, God will help you like find what you need to, and you can, and like as long as you have faith, you can always end up doing the right thing and stuff like that. And obviously like treating people with kindness, and you know, like good things, you put out good things come back to you, and karma and all that jazz. So I think for the most part she believes in that, but I think whether or not she believes in heaven and hell, I'm not completely aware on. But either way, I'm somewhat more intrigued to find out what her reaction is, like her actually being like an actual person of religious faith. I'm more curious to see how she might process this. That she's been friends with the literal devil for years, and she's only just finding out now. So. Yeah, and I think also because of the fact that she's friends with Lucifer, I think for that reason she might not have that much of a negative reaction. That I think maybe even considering that like all the stories, like maybe all the stories and passages she's read and she's been read as a kid and being told, like maybe if she was raised like being told that Satan is the devil and the devil is sin and the devil is the bad guy and everything, and then she actually finds out that Lucifer, one of her closest friends, has been the devil all along. She's just like, he's actually not that bad. He's pretty chill. He throws cool parties. He really knows how to let loose and relax, and he actually protects me. He's like a big brother to her. Essentially, he's protected her from bad stuff time and time again, and he has like a closely knit kind of circle of human and celestial friends. He's a pretty cool guy. He cares about the people he is connected to, and he actively fights to protect them, and he tries to do the right. He like the devil himself tries to solve crimes. The devil himself actually actively helps to rectify other humans. He tries to rectify human beings' mistakes. Like the real devil would probably just be staying down in hell and punishing those who Diana sent down there. But this devil, no, he actively tries to solve crimes before more of them can be committed. So. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of anticipating that kind of reaction. Like initially, shock might be there, but then soon after, it's like the stories were wrong. You're actually not that. I mean, you still got the whole torture thing going for you, but you're actually deep down, you're actually a pretty cool guy, and you're actually all right. You're actually pretty friendly, and you're caring, you're compassionate, you're loyal. And you're nothing like those stories. Like maybe like a quarter accurate, but the rest of it is like they just literally don't know what you get up to in your downtime or your uptime up on Earth. So yeah, but I am definitely curious to see what Dan's reaction will be if he actually is gonna do investigating. Because I think if he is gonna investigate, I'm expecting like a montage of all the times that Lucifer just full on dropped hints and little tidbits being like, no, I am the devil, I am Lucifer, and him actually trying to look back and analyze all the different times that he could have actually caught out the clues, and then he's going to put two together, and it's going to be a thing. Like I think Dan, I feel like Dan, again, like I think the most inevitable reaction to come out of this, like the most common initial reaction is going to be shock, but then I think what they do with it afterwards is based on the characters, and we had the whole thing with Chloe where she kind of bartered with the priest and tried to get Lucifer sent back to hell and everything, but then she couldn't go with it, but then she couldn't even go through with it because he was her friend and she loved him and he loved her, and she kind of cherished that more than anything else, and she had to understand that he literally inherently was not a bad guy, and then the whole Eve thing happened. So yeah, but I think Dan may well try and play this out like a detective and actually try and make sense of this so that he can actually understand it better, and then he might confront them. Then he actually might confront Chloe or Amenadiel or Lucifer or all three of them in the same room, so none of them can lie and stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be fun to see. It'll definitely be fun to see how that goes down. But yeah, Dan discovered it. Dan discovered the devil face. And to mention, I feel like I kind of called this. I mean, well, not called it, but I did. I think it was episode 1. I think it was definitely episode 1 of this season. Episode 1 of this season, the first reaction I'd done. I was curious from that point on. Like since we first saw Baby Charlie, I was or the return of Baby Charlie rather. I was curious from then on as to how Charlie would react to Lucifer's devil face, and yeah, I think I can't really lie. I think I didn't expect a positive reaction, but I can't say I'm surprised by it either. I can't say I'm fully surprised by it, because again, like it is. I don't know. It seems like a plausible twist. It seems like a plausible twist that for whatever reason, out of anger towards Jed, Lucifer would suddenly make his eyes glow and then his face would burn away and he'd actually shock his devil face, and then all of a sudden the crying stops and it's like, oh damn, like Charlie is actually enamored by he is actually just deadpan silent, Lucifer Devilface, and then I think and then and then Amenadiel and Lucifer actually detect that, and then Lucifer goes up to his human face again, and Charlie begins crying again, so he transforms back. But then him actually making those kind of like funny faces with the devil face, that one actually made him laugh. Like the devil doing funny faces makes a Nephilim laugh. So yeah, but yeah, I think that it's a surprisingly wholesome take on that kind of face, because that face is something with a dark history, and it's something that's not really been very brightly or very humorously kind of explored in this show, or even in like the kind of like lore or mythology of Lucifer, itself. But it's something he's literally only ever used to terrify people, and something he got back with the kind of the Pierce stuff. He got it back after that, and stuff went down. So he's never used it with the intentions of making people laugh or making them smile. So I think it's the first, and it's like the surprise. It's a surprisingly wholesome thing, like the baby actually laughing at the devil's face. I think it's also. Again, I think it also helps to tie it back into Trixie's reaction to Mace, because I think Trixie's older. Trixie was older then, discovering Mace's face for the first time, than Charlie was now discovering Lucifer's face, and even then, I think it was kind of easier to take that. Maybe somewhat easier, because I think it was more plausible to take that because of the fact that because it was Halloween, she could easily cover it up as putting on a mask, and then. Trixie didn't really have, like a negative reaction to it at all. So, like that one was like the first kind of surprisingly wholesome incident where something like that could happen. But then with this one, like an actual baby who's like likely not more than a year old at all, is just laughing and just enjoying like Lucifer's kind of devil face and his tactics and everything. That is just surprisingly wholesome and sweet and everything. And even I think even Lucifer taking it upon himself, like him and Amenadiel realize it, and then he puts it back on and he sees Charlie actually being dead by himself, and then he actually starts making noises and faces. Like he takes it upon himself, like, oh, Charlie likes the devil face, and he starts making faces and everything and stuff. Like, so yeah, Charlie likes the devil face. Charlie actually is actually just wholly focused on the devil face, and he laughs when he does that stuff and everything. So yeah, Lucifer's a great uncle. Lucifer is a pitch perfect uncle. So yeah, and I think it reminds me there were these comments and posts I would see under Lucifer stuff on like YouTube and Tumblr sometimes, like where people would be kind of showcasing just how connection wise and mainly connection wise, how powerful and like how strong of a character Trixie was, not just because of herself, but also because her mother and her stepdad, or at least her former dad, her mother and dad are cops. Her mother and dad are actual detectives with weapons and investigative skills, and she had her other dad, perhaps her other dad was the devil, the literal devil. Her best friend / aunt was a demon, and her other kind of friend / uncle was an angel, and stuff like she had all these kind of power, capable and superpowered kind of individuals around her, like anyone at school, any kind of future partner who messed with her, would have the misfortune of actually having to deal with all these people around her, like a demon and devil and cops and everything and stuff. And now I think as true as that is, I now can't help. But I mean, it has. I think it hasn't really been developed as much. It hasn't been developed as much because he's still a baby and we haven't really had much content with him. But I feel like I think hopefully before the series ends, I hope they kind of establish that same kind of connection, that same level of connection and bonding and familial kind of healthiness and stuff. Like I'm hoping that they establish that with Charlie too, and hopefully they actually bring Trixie in more to actually have like a cool kind of sibling or like cousin kind of relationship with them and stuff, and they actually unite and they actually kind of unify under that kind of same protective kind of celestial and human kind of guardianhood over them and stuff. I think reading all those comments about Trixie having all these people in her corner has been so true and so kind of so wholesome and so kind of good and pure to think about, but then actually applying it to Charlie actually works well too. So I'm hoping before the series ends, they're able to actually enforce that kind of level of love and protection too. So yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, Charlie is a fan of the devil face. Charlie is a fan of the devil face. And yeah, we had Maze going on her own journey of self-discovery, and I think we had like a little bit of hint for Ella too. We had a bit of a little bit of a hint for Ella towards the end too. Yeah, Maze. I think Maze. I think we saw towards the beginning of the season that Maze was still kind of breathing in from Ella. Eve having left at the end of the last season, actually announcing that, you know, like I think Maze still tried to open up, and Maze still tried to open up and express her own feelings for Eve and tried to see if there was something there. But with Eve, I think rightfully so, Eve actually felt like, because she'd spent her whole life pining after Lucifer, the one guy who actually treated her like she was her and stuff like that, like she ended up, on the one hand, having to come to terms with the fact that Lucifer was not the right guy for her, and then she was not the right person for Lucifer either, so then she had to actually go off on her own journey and figure out who she was and what she wanted, so then that kind of left Maze in the dark because after so long, Maze thought she'd finally found someone in Eve, and she thought she'd actually found someone suitable in Eve, and thought she found a suitable connection there, but then Eve just wasn't ready, so then that kind of ended up leaving Maze in the cold. So this season opens up, and we kind of see Maze struggling to let go of that, and struggling to actually come to kind of terms with herself and trying to find her place, and then she starts out being like the kind of consultant trying to be the consultant for the LAPD that Lucifer was before he left and went to hell. But I think even personally, she is struggling to find out who she is and what she wants, because I think she wanted Eve, and now I think the pain from Eve leaving is still there. She can't really let go of Eve, but she doesn't really know who to be if it's not Eve that she wants, and she doesn't really know who to be as herself, and she has that whole kind of mental and emotional dilemma going on. So that was the whole thing. And then yeah, I think as cute as the whole Ella get-up was, as cute as that whole getaway, she literally thought, I think for a second I thought, oh, maybe she actually did go out and literally look up the clothes in Ella's wardrobe, but then actually go out to a shop and buy the exact same thing. But no, she literally physically raided her wardrobe and took her clothes, and then they were actually, yeah, I think one of her t-shirts on Maze, I think, ended up looking. I think I can't tell if Ella has any crop tops. But I think one of the t-shirts that Ella has, I don't know if it actually is like a crop top or if it was just so small on Maze that it actually ended up looking like a crop top. But either way, she still tried to put something, you know, flashy and colourful on, which is Ella's usual style. But then, not just that, but then she literally tried to copy, like, her tone, her delivery, and her mannerisms. Like, it was literally Christina acting in the moment, and actually her, like, you know, like Leslie acting as Maze, acting as Ella and stuff. Like, you're literally just watching her, and she was actually opening up the file and flipping through, and actually waving her hands, and literally just watching as she actually does everything, and then just pretty much from like the second act onwards, just doing exactly that, actually going around and copying and everything. I think it's because of the fact that she sees that she's so huggy and friendly and open and personal with people. Like she's given the advice by Linda to actually be more emotionally available, but you know, to also kind of to just kind of be open and friendly and stuff with her. So yeah. So I'm laughing because I'm thinking back to Linda's advice there, but then I'm also thinking back to Dan having given Amenadiel the advice that pushed Linda away in the end. So that was funny. But with Maze, I mean, in the end, even Ella caught her on it. Even Ella actually caught her on it, saying like, you know, dude, you know, dressing like me is okay. We can have like similar styles. We can maybe match every other day. We can have similar styles and similar senses. I mean, Maze, I think for seasons, Maze has rocked the absolute shit out of black and red and dark and matte and glossy and like those kind of demonic and brooding, not necessarily specifically gothic, but those kinds of more dark and broody, grittier kind of themes and tones. Like she has rocked the absolute crap out of those colors. Like those like that kind of fashion sense suits her so well. Like she's worn some stuff on this show that's taken my fucking breath away. But she like her fashion sense alone is like just fully on point, and she masters it because it's her, because it actually fully expresses exactly who she is and what she's like and everything, so that works. But I think even Ella rightfully calling her out and being like dressing like me is okay, but then actually copying my every last movement and mannerism, like just trying to be like an Ella 2.0, or like an other Ella, is where you gotta draw the line, because that's just not how it works. Like copying someone else, literally, I think it's a known fact, copying other people is not how you get by in life. Like, you can follow in people's footsteps and try similar things, but then actually trying to be like an exact version of the person, it just kind of it pushes people away a lot more and a lot quicker than anything else, and people catch on very, very quickly too, and also it can very easily end up with you looking like you're trying too hard and everything. So I think she had to try and find that out. But then, and even that particular personality trait, being friendly and being open, like, it doesn't require copying anyone else. It literally just like with Ella, she's the human embodiment of joy. She's friendly because she's been raised to treat people with kindness and to treat others how she herself would want to be treated, and because she enjoys being good to people, being kind to people, actually asking them how they are and saying hello and everything. And she's fun, she's funky, and enjoys different things and has different tastes. So like she is her because of her interests and her kind of skills and her talents. But then the more basic traits are literally just kind of basic human decency and acceptance and love. And it's one of the reasons we love her. And Amy Garcia herself, she portrays that so well. I can only imagine that's exactly how she is in real life, and especially I think it's a fairly different portrayal of her as Jamie and Dexter. Like I think there she is still pretty much the same. She is still friendly and open and stuff, but it's also like a very, very different character, very, very different show. No supernatural elements, whatsoever. So with this one, she's a lot more bubbly and a lot more relatable and a lot more kind of lovable and dorky and everything. So like we love her because that. But then I think Maze being Maze, she kind of took that advice a little bit too far and thought she had to be literally exactly like Ella, down to the last kind of characteristic that she had, instead of actually identifying that she just kind of she just like says hello, she asks people how they are, treats people how they want to be treated, and actually shows kindness, and that's what attracts people. And then what makes them stick around is her actual dorkiness and her lovableness and everything else. So yeah, and then her actually, I think what was important too was actually Ella actually reassuring her in the end, like, you're scary, but that's good, because scary is who you are, and the right people will stay in your life, because they kind of appreciate and love and understand your scariness. Because Maze being scary can sometimes be very hot, but it's also just very, very cool to see. It's very, very, very cool to see. It's like it's who she is. She's very scary because she's angry, or she's scary because she's protective of the people she like the people in her life she's protective of, like Lucifer and Linda and Ella and Amendia and Trixie especially, like her friendship with Trixie, like she's scary as fuck when she's trying to protect that little girl from everything that might want to hurt her. And even when she thought she potentially lost her friendship with Trixie after she kind of had like an outburst in front of Dan without realizing that Trixie was right behind her, like she thought she'd lost that forever, and then she went full on depression mode and everything, and she thought that, and she thought that Trixie would never want to talk to her, like a scary-ass demon thought that a normal human child would never want to talk to them again, because of what she did. And then Trixie came bounding up behind her and said, of course, you're my best friend in the world, I would never want to lose you. So I think honestly, right, bring Trixie back, bring Trixie back into the mix. Trixie needs to come back and show Maze and remind Maze just how appreciated and how loved and how true to herself that she is, and how true to herself she needs to be in order to actually bring some spark into it. Like, season 1, from the beginning, hers and Trixie's kind of relationship has just been this absolute pinnacle kind of Lucifer writing. Like, it's easily been one of the best friendships in this show to watch as it blossoms and unfolds. Like a demon with a human child is a pairing you never think would actually get along, but then they portray it so well, and it works. I think, honestly, bring Trixie back. I think again, Maze needs friends again. Maze needs friends, and like I think Linda is still her friend, but now she's got like a whole life of her own. She's got I don't know if like her and MD are married. Maybe that's like something yet to happen, yet to come. But then she's still got like a partner with whom she now has a child, and Chloe and Lucifer are doing their own thing. That's I think she's had relationships before, and they've all had their own little crash and burn, or like kind of little dusty ending, or rocky journeys, or whatever. She needs a friend. She very, very clearly needs a friend. That's what she needs. To bring Trixie back into this show and have her and Maze actually hang out again. Actually have them have fun times again. Have them have because I think not having Trixie in this makes sense, kind of, because she's a teenager now, so she's actively hanging out with more kids her age, and she's got her own stuff going on, like school and everything, so she can't really be here all the time. I think we haven't really seen her for like a good 2 or 3 episodes, so there's been that. But still, it's been a while, but still, I think bringing Trixie back could be the key. Like reminding her of like I think she would be the key to reminding like Maze that who she is okay, and that like it wasn't and that it wasn't her fault that Eve left. Eve did not leave because she was not attracted to Maze, or because she wasn't ready for Maze. I think Eve kind of identified that she needed to sort herself out and move on past Lucifer, but also move on with herself before she could move on with somebody else. So I think Maze needs to kind of be reminded of. Needs to be assured of that, and actually reminded of that by Trixie, and then he needs to actually learn to love herself again, so that way when Eve does come back, she's actually ready and willing and stuff, and she's not just like going back just because she's been pining after her for the last season and a half. So yeah, bring Trixie back, and then that will be the key to getting Maze happy again, and actually happy and ready, and hopefully Eve returns. Hopefully Eve does return, and we can actually have Eve and Maze actually getting back together again, and actually blossoming their own relationship and everything. So that'll be fun. But yeah, that is the key. And we also, I think it was good to see some bonding in the Lux bar between Daniel and Amenadiel. I think I think that particular partnership carries on a bit more from the last episode. Oh no, not from the last episode. No, I'm thinking of Amenadiel. But no, this, I think we've had this before. I think we did. I think we had a bit of it too, like when this season began. But I think more so in the last season too, like for a good couple, maybe a few episodes here and there, we actually had some good kind of Amenadiel and Dan kind of content together. And so this episode is pretty great too. Them two actually kind of being open about their own insecurities and their own kind of possible flaws and what they're worried about. Like, that was cool. But then them kind of actively reassuring each other, like, no, you're a great guy. No, you're a great guy. You're an angel. Oh, you have no idea and stuff. Obviously not in that particular kind of phrasing, but still, like them to actually reassuring each other and actually bonding over like fatherhood and concerns and worries and all these different things. Was really, really cool to see. Like, Daniel and Amenadiel were like get along super duper well. And I think, truth be told, right, despite whatever kind of trash talk might be thrown down between them, I do think up until the end of this episode, I do think like Lucifer and Daniel's own kind of friendship was on the path to recovery, and now it's all about to be turned upside down. Because of Daniel having discovered Lucifer's kind of devil face and stuff, and he's gonna realize it's Lucifer because the only other person standing next to him is Amenadiel, and the guy is actually holding the baby, so he's gonna know it's Lucifer. But Amenadiel and Dan is a friendship that has been super enjoyable to watch. I think even from the beginning too, like, Amenadiel has not been too antagonistic or too kind of unfriendly towards humans. Like, he hasn't really hated them, but then as time goes on, and as time has gone on, and he's adapted to Earth the same way that Lucifer has, he's actually come to understand that humanity, as flawed as it is, it's still kind of worth protecting. It still has its perks, it still has its own level of joys, and he's come to befriend Daniel, he's come to befriend Linda, and now he has a baby with her. He's come to befriend Chloe and understand how special she is as a person, as well as actually like in value in kind of connection to Lucifer and everything. So he's kind of come to appreciate all these little people, and even Ella as well. So it's been really cool to see how his relationship with humanity itself has actually evolved, and now he's able to just have kind of bar-side chats with Daniel about life and stuff. So their conversations are really cool, and yeah, even then, like, it is how they went from the bar, like in the bar, Linda, like Daniel reassuring him, like, oh, I'm sure Linda has no clue either, and she's just kind of winging this as she goes along. I'm sure she's just as bad at this as you are. So then, to the point where Amendiel then goes home and then tells Linda, hey, you're probably just as bad as I am, and you're probably as clueless as I am, and you're probably doing bad stuff as bad as me almost every other hour. Like him actively kind of almost putting her down and kind of making her feel like, oh, she's just doing a really crappy job to tell her mother. And then halfway through the speech, he's like, oh, I see where I might have gone wrong. I'm actually, like saying it out loud now again. I kind of get where I might have actually fucked up there. So yeah, that's on me. So yeah, and then to the point where Linda leaves and she joins the Sting, and goes dressed up with like Harley Quinn style ponytails. I love that look on it. I love the Harley Quinn pigtails on Linda. So that was really fun. So that was cool. But yeah, and then we have the rest of the episode just like, and then it cuts back and we just see Daniel and Amendiel actually working together, just bouncing and actually playing music and squeezing toys, trying to get Charlie to sleep, and Amendiel just looks traumatized and just half asleep all at the same time, and Daniel's just struggling to keep things going. It's just their friendship is amazing. So I'm curious to see how all of that might change now that Daniel knows the truth. Because then Daniel's going to also find out that he's going to have to find out at some point that Amendiel is a literal angel of the Lord as well. So that's going to be a whole other thing too. So yeah. And yeah, but I mean, besides from all of that, we just had some fun-ish stuff with Chloe's ex, DJ Carnal, otherwise known as Jed. Probably not Jed Carnal like I called him, but Jed nonetheless. And he was Chloe's first love, and I think she mentioned that they were kids too. They were actually like childhood kind of sweethearts that didn't really work out and stuff. So that was a fun little storyline there, and a fun little kind of wrapped up in the end with a little murdery kind of twist of like him actually ending up having slept with another woman without knowing that she was actually married to another guy, and then he ended up calling him a homewrecker and everything. So that was that. But yeah, I think he had some interesting enough advice for Dexter, for Lucifer. He had some interesting enough advice for Lucifer, being like, Chloe is a detective at heart too. She likes being able to discover new things and discover new little secrets and new traits and characteristics and different things about the people she's with. So then with Jed, she initially was attracted to him because he was that kind of mystery guy, and he seemed fairly kind of not ominous, but he seemed mysterious, and like he still kind of had some stuff, like some parts left uncovered. But then by the time she probably got to know. By the time she probably got to know all there was to him, she then got bored and didn't really feel like there was much of a spark left in their relationship, and then decided to pull it off. So, and then she went on to, and then I think Dan mentioned it was actually soon after they broke up that he then met Chloe, and then they got together. And then I think their relationship, I don't know if they've explored whether or not they actually met after they actually became detectives, or if it was actually when they were still in the academy or still kind of training or whatever. But either way, their relationship still blossomed far enough for them to actually still have a kid. They still had Trixie and everything. So they had them. But I think I love how even after like Dan actually managed to rock baby Charlie to sleep himself, and then Jed called him a natural. He was like, yeah, it's fine, because I already know how to do this stuff, because I had a baby, I had a human child with Chloe Decker, the woman who dumped you and then came up with me like, yeah, she tried to rub that in his face. So that was classic Dan. That was Dan. But still, in their own relationship, they still got far enough where they were able to actually start a family, but then stuff still didn't go the way they wanted. So then they ended up getting a divorce with joint custody. I don't know if it was joint custody, because I think for the most part Chloe still kept Trixie around, and then I think Dan actually still had his own place, but still it was like somewhat joint custody. So there was that, and then upon meeting Lucifer too, she's kind of, I think upon meeting Lucifer, she's not I think upon meeting Lucifer, it kind of runs in the opposite, in the sense that she's not drawn to him. but he's drawn to her. He's drawn to her because of the fact that you know her powers and his powers and his powers definitely don't work on him. So that's like a for one thing, that's like kind of like an odd thing for him to experience. But then also his typical, even his non-powered typical devilish charms and charisma and kind of, you know, like flair don't really work on her either. Like she just sees him as like some kind of, you know, some kind of sneaky little kind of, you know, flary, charming kind of Mr. Good-looking, nice guy. Like she doesn't really see him as anything special. But then as time goes by, she does start to pick up clues on the whole Lucifer thing. But then she doesn't really want to believe it, and then that's the whole thing that gets expanded for several seasons. So I think she still kind of sees him as like the biggest ongoing mystery she's ever kind of seen in a guy that she's been with or been around. So then because of that, she's still constantly kind of attracted to him and still kind of drawn to him. And then their relationship blossoms and it becomes something beautiful. So I think. Yeah, I think because I think it's also the fact that, you know, like Lucifer's jealousy towards Jed is kind of tied into this episode in a way that, you know, he takes Jed's advice a little bit too close to heart, and then he actually ends up kind of thinking that, oh, the best way to be mysterious is to just avoid Chloe completely. Just be like, you know, oh, you want me to be mysterious? You want me to avoid giving you the answers? Fine, I'll just not pick up the phone then. Just reject the call. Rejects each call and then just ends up throwing the post out of the house into like a nearby bush or a pond or something. So he eventually, the key to being mysterious is to just, you know, just refusing to, you know, call her or answer her calls and everything. So yeah, both Lucifer and Maze, and even like a bit of Menadil, even a little bit of Menadil, just getting advice from people. And then taking it away too far, as typical celestial beings, with people who just don't fully encapsulate human interaction, just taking advice and just taking it to the very pinnacle of their tips and everything. So that was still fun to see. So now the episode ends. The episode 3 ends with Chloe and Lucifer literally having their first time together, so that is a very, very fun time. That's a very fun time. So yeah, it'll be fun to see how that relationship gets explored and continued going into the rest of the season. So yeah, that should be fun. That should be very, very fun. So yeah, I look forward to that. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've really gotten from this. Again, it didn't. I think bringing Jed back seemed fun, but again, I think most of the stuff, even involving Jed and even somewhere outside of Jed, just seemed more like most of the episodes just seemed more kind of character driven, as like in terms of actually pushing characters to develop themselves and actually find out more about themselves and kind of experiment with new things, as opposed to actually driving the story. Like the story driving didn't really feel like it happened until the very end with Michael luring Dan back into finding out Lucifer's true face. So I'm very intrigued to see where that goes in the coming episodes, and how exactly that explanation, that confrontation goes, and to see exactly when Ella finds out too. I think again, Ella's reaction is the one I'm actually somewhat more intrigued to find out how she reacts and how she processes and how she moves forward with it and stuff. So that should be fun. But yeah, hopefully I can actually get these episodes out on time as well before Lucifer season 5B comes out, hopefully in time. Not really much more to go, so hopefully we can push through and enjoy the next episodes, and then actually get ready in time for season 5B to come through. And I can do the same with a whole host of other shows that I am unfortunately behind on. But yeah, all in good time, all in very, very good time, and all in close time as well. So yeah, that was Lucifer season 5 episode 6. I believe that is episode number 6. I might need to go back and check the episode number, but I believe that was 6. So yeah, that was Lucifer. That was Lucifer. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Lucifer. If you guys want to catch the full-length reaction for this one as well, that one will be over on Patreon, so you can get over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.